I'm Shelia Smoot. Coming up on today's show, need a home? Well, we have a home ownership program that can help you own the American dream by making it a reality. NACA is more than an agency that will help you own a home. NACA will change your life. Also in this segment, a special guest who has decided to help NACA change the face of home ownership in Alabama. Stay tuned. The Shelia Smoot Show starts now. Welcome into the Shelia Smoot Show. I'm Shelia Smoot. Good to have you along here on this great day. Every day is a great day. I don't know why you don't think that. Every day is a great day. It's a great day because you're alive, maybe. Maybe you're living. Maybe you're standing. Maybe you're breathing. Or maybe you're going, stop. Just breathe. Everybody breathe. Everybody breathe. Ooh, you know that stress will kill you. It will kill you. It will kill you. You got to slow down sometimes and smell the coffee and the tea and all of that we are going to be doing. Smell the coffee, the tea, and all of that. So, I have a pet peeve. All of you that have cities and counties and things like that, my pet peeve this morning is just clean up the parkways. Anything with the name Parkway, it means clean it up. Parkway. Anything with the name Parkway in your community. That should be the cleanest street ever. Anything that says boulevard should be clean. I mean, if you could get the boulevards and the parkways clean, then you got me. You got half of me there. Anything, all these communities, if you got trash on your parkways and your boulevards, that's a problem because the people who clean it up go past it every day just like you and I do. And so that is my Shelia Smoot pet peeve of the day. I just think you ought to do that. Anything with a golf course along it. I know, right? If you got a beautiful, pristine area, right? Then from a golf perspective, and we've got plenty of golf courses where I reside in the area around this state. If there's trash heading to the golf course, that's a problem. And I say that because people come from all over the world to play golf courses, especially in Alabama, the Robert Trent Jones courses. And we've got parkways and roadways that lead to that. So if you want to keep people in your community, the best thing to do is clean up the boulevard and clean up the parkway. Anything that says that means it's leading to something pristine. I've come to believe that. Anything that says boulevard and parkway is obviously leading towards something that's pristine. Let me go into a little bit of using your debit cards. I know a lot of things have changed, but I'm going to talk to you this morning about using your debit cards, and then we're going to have our guests coming right up. Debit cards are a way to pay for things. We use it every day. I don't remember the last time I wrote a check, but we're all into this debit card. They use money from your checking account at the bank, and they can be extremely convenient. But guess what? To avoid spending more money than you have, keep track of how much you spend because you're just swiping, right? Well, how to use a debit card. I know you know how to use it because you're using it too much because you're in debt. That's right. A bank or a credit union usually gives a debit card when you open your checking account. Of course, they still exist. Now, compare your services and fees so you don't run into a problem. And that's what I'm going with this. Go to the website, or you can visit them online in person and find out what the fee is. There are fees to all these cards. You run into these fees over and over and over, and then you look up and you're like, I just paid $10 for what? What service are you getting? Well, the convenience of your card. Have a checking account. Use a debit card. Get cash from ATMs at other banks. These can be fees. Also, have less money in your account than the bank requires. That could be a fee tacked on if you have less money. Say they require you to have $100, you have $25, well, they're going to tack you with a fee. Spend more money than you have in your account. Okay, that's that overdraft fee. You get where I'm going with this? Compare the answers. Find the bank or credit union that meets your needs. You've got to ask about how much am I going to be paying? How much am I going to be paying? How can I protect my debit card? Keep your debit card number and your PIN private. Don't let your kids get it. Don't let your husband get it. Don't let your wife get it. Don't let your friend get your debit. Here, do my, right, okay. Oh, they've got $100 in here. I'm going to take, he told you get 50, you got 100. Now you're down to 0. Now you got a fee. All right. Do not use your debit card to buy things online. You do use your debit card to buy things online. What I mean by here, be careful of the fees. There may be fees to use that card. There may be some other things going on, but check before you swipe. Also, if you lose your debit card, report it to your bank or credit union right away. Ask your bank to cancel the card and send you another card. Ask for account alerts by email or text message, and this can let you know if your account has less money in it than you think. All right? So, from that perspective, we are definitely going to make sure that you don't get hit by banking fees. And I mean that. You've got to make sure that you don't get hit by banking fees. Okay, about to go to my guest right now. Let's check in with our guest. Good morning. This is Shelia Smoot. Welcome into the Shelia Smoot Show. And who am I speaking to this morning? Is this Mr. Bruce Marks, CEO and founder of NACA?
Absolutely, Sheila. How you doing?
I'm good.
Thanks
I'm doing great. I cannot complain at all, and I'm glad and honored to have you on here as the founder of NACA. First of all, tell our audience this morning, Mr. Marks, what is NACA? What does that stand for? It's a very powerful four-letter word, but it has a whole long name. Tell me about it.
So we are. It is the Neighborhood Assistance Corporation of America. Mm-hmm. So we are the largest HUD-certified counseling agency in the country. We're in all 50 states. And, we provide comprehensive counseling. We do 30% of the country's counseling. And we provide the best mortgage in America. And we are an advocacy organization. So we coined the term predatory lending back in one of our first campaigns in Boston. And then we've, taken on the largest predators in the country, and we have beat them.
Wow.
And as a result, we are, outstanding home ownership programs, particularly for low and moderate income, and for people who've been subjected to systemic racism.
NACA has been around. How long have you been in existence now?
I started NACA 38 years ago.
38 years ago. Wow. And it's been growing ever since then. Why is NACA important at this point in 38 years ago and fast forward to today? Why is it still very important to have this service out there?
Well, it's about economic justice. Mm-hmm. And, so a lot of people talk about it. And frankly, and we know because, MLK holiday and, people fought and died to give people opportunities, mm-hmm. With Dr. King, Medgar Evers, Malcolm X. You go so many people and so many foot soldiers out there doing it. So it's really around on their shoulders.
Right.
And, building on the foundation that they fought and died for. And so when you talk about economic justice, it's important that, we recognize the fighters mm-hmm. and the advocates who have, done so much. But, then we have to build on that. And to build on that, you have to create wealth. You have to create economic opportunity.
Right.
And housing is a core part of that. Home ownership is a core part of that. And it's the foundation of that. So, what NACA does is we overcome the four major obstacles to affordable home ownership. Number one, it's, people don't have the savings. People work hard, but it's tough to save. NACA solution, no down payment and no closing costs.
Wow. Say that again. No down payment and no
closing costs.
No down payment, no closing costs. That's huge because that's a great equalizer. I do real estate. I'm a licensed real estate agent, and I know that when I tell the people they fall in love with the house, Mr. Marks, when they fall in love with the house, they're like, okay, now you got to come up with closing costs. Now you got to come up with down payment. Now I tell people when they start looking, start saving now for later. So you all take care of that. How does that work?
So that's what we have. That's fundamental. But remember, this is not new. because what built the white suburbs of the World War II was the no down payment VA mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the white suburbs because if someone was of color, could not access that mortgage or purchase those properties. So, what built the white suburbs should be available and is available through NACA, to particularly for, people of color to provide affordable home ownership. So that's number one. Number two is restrictive underwriting based on credit score.
Mm-hmm.
So the NACA solution is we do character-based lending, and we never consider someone's credit score. So people might have, and a lot of our members have, different types of, payment history, different types of income, all that stuff. So you look at people's individual circumstances. So as long as they can document where the money's coming from,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to continue, we're good. That's called character-based lending, compensating factor lending. And then what you do is you exclude the items that people might have difficulty paying or are late that are out of their control. So if someone has late medical payments, that's not a reflection that they're not ready for home ownership. That just says we have a dysfunctional, unaffordable healthcare system.
Right.
So,
right.
and you focus on the last 12 months because, people, we all have done things in our past, and those things should not come back to bite us, whether it's a bankruptcy or some late payments or some non-payments, so those charge-offs, well, that happened in the past. So you eliminate that. So it's character-based lending, compensating factor. And then the third one is, the terms and, so unaffordable interest rates. Well, if you were to call up any of the banks, any of the lenders out there, and just call them up and say, what is your rate for a 30-year mortgage? What's your rate for a 20-year, 15-year fixed? They won't tell you. They'll say, send us your information, put it into our system, put it into our algorithm, and we'll tell you. Well, then you ask them, well, what's your algorithm? How do we know it's not racist? Because we know that's what it's been. And we said, well, you have to trust us. Wait a second, you're saying trust us? We're banks?
Right.
You're banks and we should trust you?
Right, trust us? Yeah.
So,
that's good.
we're not naive, and, but so we know. So with NACA, everybody gets a below market fixed rate. So, today's rate on a 30-year fixed is 5.125.
Right.
For a 20 or 15-year fixed, it's always fixed, it's 4.625. Well, I mean, and, people should go to our website at NACA.com, NACA.com.
Uh-huh.
So, that's overcoming the third hurdle. The fourth one is racism and biases. So what NACA does is that we're an advocacy organization. Yes, we, like the civil rights movement, we do the protests, we get arrested, we disrupt meetings, we take on the fight. And we've taken on the biggest players out there, whether it's been, Fleet Bank or First Union or Chase or Ford Motor Company or Associates Financial.
Right.
I mean, go down the line, Barnett and Riggs and Bank of Boston. I mean, just go down the line. We've won all those wars. And some of them took us 4.5 years to beat Fleet. So, but what we do is we NACA qualify a borrower. So so they become a desirable customer, our members, for lenders, real estate agents, sellers. And we've done over 75,000 mortgages. We have a foreclosure rate of 0.00012, about 1/100 of 1%.
Right.
So we have demonstrated that if you do the comprehensive counseling, if you provide the best mortgage in America, the best mortgage, people make the mortgage payments. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, we do the post-purchase assistance. So, we're the only entity in the country, the only one that can say we have the best mortgage in the country, because we are regulated.
So
by
why should I
every
go?
state.
Yeah, you're
By,
regulated, but why should I go with NACA? How's NACA going to just hone in? And how long is this program to get me into my home? When you can just say, well, I can go to a mortgage broker, I can go to a bank. I mean, what's the great equalizer, and why should I use NACA quickly on that?
because it's the best mortgage. You will never get you will never get the best terms. And the
Uh-huh.
process is probably even faster than it is at the bank. But we're going to counter you. So we're going to make sure that you have a
Uh-huh.
mortgage payment that you can afford.
Okay.
We're going to make sure that you're not being taken advantage of, and that because people say it's too good to be true, and that's a question that everybody should ask, because there's more fraud, there's more abuse in the real estate and mortgage industry than any other industry that exists. Everybody's trying to rip off the customer. NACA is a trusted advisor because of our aggressive advocacy and a state-of-the-art operation and the best mortgage in this country.
Okay, so how do I get this best mortgage in the country, and how do we apply? What's the process, and how do we start all of that? Welcome into the Shelia Smoot Show. I'm Shelia Smoot. We have our guest, CEO of NACA, and this is Bruce Marks speaking to you right now. Bruce?
So we got $20 billion on this one mortgage product, $15 billion
that's a
from
lot.
Bank of America. So yeah, absolutely. So we're not short of the mortgage money. So people go to our website, NACA.com, and they sign up. First step is to do the workshop, NACA.com. So go to our website. Through Monday, we're doing 19 events where you can get through the whole meet with NACA staff and get through the whole process in one day. So go to our website. So we are in Bessemer. We're in Tuscaloosa. We're in
Selma,
Huntsville. We're in
Huntsville,
Selma.
Hobson City,
We're in
Coosa County.
Hobson City. Absolutely. We're
Yeah,
everywhere
you're
in
everywhere.
your state.
Wow, I love
And
it.
so, people with any assistance can call us at 425-602-6222.
Say that number
So,
again. Can you say that number again? 405
sure,
405
425, 425
Uh-huh.
602
Uh-huh.
6222.
6222.
425
Okay.
602 6222.
NACA. Okay, got
So
it.
it's we're everywhere in the state. So with Mosses, Colony, Baker Hill, Tuskegee, Montgomery, Yellow Bluff.
Yellow Bluff. You're
we're
in
there.
Yellow Bluff? That's the South.
Akron, yeah. Baker Hill, yep. And we're going to Yellow Bluff this afternoon. I am going to
Please take
Yellow Bluff.
pictures for me of Yellow Bluff, because I've never been to Yellow Bluff, and I'm quite concerned about what that looks like, because I want you to take care. I've got my next caller in as well. I'm gonna stop you right there. I've got Representative Patrick Sellers. Let me take him on the line. Good day to you, Representative Patrick Sellers of your district. How are you today?
Good morning, my good friend Shelia Smoot, and good morning to my good friend Bruce Marks.
Yes.
We're just excited about what NACA is doing in our community. And listen, Sheila, and to the listening audience, if you want to see real neighborhood revitalization,
Right.
home ownership is the key
Right.
to revitalizing our communities and our neighborhoods. It gives people the opportunity and the leverage and to create legacy within their family, also to build wealth for years to come. And so we encourage everyone, if you're looking to buy a home, if you're looking for a home to be a homeowner,
Right.
try NACA, call in to NACA, get to one of the workshops over this 4-day period. It will bless your life, and it will bless your generations to come. Home ownership is key.
And Representative Sellers, you're new to the legislature. You got some big plans. Why is it important to be connected to a program like NACA?
Well, Sheila, once I saw, and for many years, I pastored the Mount Zion Baptist Church in the Riley community, Southwest Birmingham, and we started buying up properties and vacant lots off the land bank and to revitalize our community. But I kept running into roadblocks because
Really?
people were buying across the mountain or in newer subdivisions, but were
Right.
not not necessarily buying within the neighborhood or within the community. NACA gives the ability for those, if you can afford to pay rent, you can afford to buy and purchase a home.
Exactly. And what part of this are you going to be taking? And I understand that you two, Mr. Marks and Representative Sellers, has always been an advocate for the community. So I'm excited that you two have bonded and are working this area together. How can people and why should people, again, get involved, and how can they apply? I'm going to go to Mr. Marks, and then, Patrick, I'll go back to you, Mr. Marks.
Okay.
So we are following the lead of Representative Sellers. So while I guess you're a state rep for the first time, but he's been a pillar and a leader in the community for decades.
Right.
And so it's his leadership. So we're here to support Representative Sellers and the other representatives and the leaders want to get done in stabilizing neighborhoods. So, this is just for both for home buyers and for homeowners who need repairs on their property, whether it's roofs or septic systems or, whatever it is, structural, whatever it is. So it's both for home buyers and homeowners. And, but it's got to be done on scale because you have to have the large scale. You got to have hundreds and thousands of units out there that people can afford and make affordable. So we're thrilled to work with Representative Sellers and others as we come in to support what they've been fighting for many years, economic justice.
Right. Economic justice. And it seems like when you buy a home, too, talk to me about equity and why that's important. Because I use my home sometimes, and others do, as the bank. You borrow from yourself because you build up equity in your home, in your community, or you use that home to get to the next stage of home if you decide to go into that as well. Patrick, I know you know about that, and you have members in your church and members in the community you've served for so long in other capacities. And it is a great equalizer for and building generational wealth, correct?
Yes, most definitely. Creating generational wealth, creating a legacy within your family. But listen, more importantly, when we look at cities like the city of Birmingham and this metroplex where crime is above the national average, one of the best safety plans or crime plans that you can have is home ownership. If persons buy homes within the community, they will be very careful at what comes in the community, what goes out of the community, what happens in the community. They will be the first line of watch of their neighborhood watch program. And so home ownership does so many things to our neighborhoods and our communities for the betterment of our people.
Well, guys, as go ahead,
And
Mr. Marks.
I would just add one thing that when you talk about, a lot of people, as you're saying, talk about that you can generate wealth through the home. Also, just as important, it's around control. Because why should you be subjected to a landlord? And a lot of landlords, all they want to do is maximize their rent. And you don't know how long you're going to be there. So, yes, you can generate wealth, but you need control to do whatever you want with that house and know it's going to be yours forever and stay in your family for generations to come. That's real neighborhood stability, economic wealth. And as, Representative Sellers has said, who's the best crime fighter? It's a homeowner.
It's a homeowner.
And that's why we're following in his footsteps as we doing this, not just in his district, but around the state of Alabama.
All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up right there. Again, Representative Patrick Sellers, again, congratulations to you. I know you are new to the legislative session. It's going to be a whirlwind with you down there. We've been looking for some great things from you. I don't know if they're ready for the shake and bake. I got 3 of them going down there. It's Representative Sellers, Ontario Tillman, and Representative Fred Plum. I call them shake and bake and roast. So it's going to be quite interesting. Thank you for being here. Also, to the great founder of NACA and CEO, Mr. Bruce Marks, I cannot thank you enough for your 38 years of wondering how there was going to be an equalization in the housing market. And I can't thank you enough for giving the dream and the gift and the hope and the life of home ownership, because it does recreate all communities when you have people who can afford to be there. So thank you so much. And guys, be safe on the road today, and give a shout out to Ms. Thomas for getting us all together. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Continue to pray for those that are affected by the storm. Me and Representative Tillman are headed to Selma and Otagoville, where where you have victims of the tornado. So keep them lifted up in prayer.
I appreciate that. We will. You guys have a great day, and we'll be talking to you soon. Thank you for your time today. Okay. Bye-bye. So you think you want to send money overseas and you're ready to do it? Well, don't do it without listening to what I have to say. You want to send money to someone in another country sometimes. Of course, this is called wiring money. But wiring money, remember, is just like sending cash. So this is what you need to do. Before you wire money, a business that wires money for you charges a fee to send that money. Before you pay to send money, ask the business these questions. How much money will my family or my friend get? Will my family or friend get money in U.S. dollars or in local money? Write this information down. Visit a few businesses that wire money overseas. Compare the cost of one money wiring business to another. Each business might charge a different price. If the business will not answer these questions, think about going to another business. When you choose the money wiring business you will use, make sure the cost is the same as the business told you. After you send the money, keep your receipt. Repeat, keep your receipt. You will need it if something goes wrong. Now, this is what you need to do after you wire your money. Find out if your family or your friend got the money you sent. Find out if they got the right amount. If they did not get the amount you sent, report it right away. First, report it to the money wiring business that you use. Then, if the business does not solve the problem, report it to the Federal Trade Commission. Call 1-877-382-4357. That's 1-877-382-4357. Or go to ftc.gov/complaint. ftc.gov/complaint. Remember, don't be a sucker, be a consumer. You want to get home ownership? You want to get into a house? I know you can. Yes, you can do that at NACA.com, NACA.com, or call 425-602-6222. That's 425-602-6222. I'm Shelia Smoot. Welcome into the Shelia Smoot Show. Remember, don't be a sucker, be a consumer.